So let's say people are certainly unsure about who their divine partner or real divine partner is. Then what would you go by? Obviously, the first guy you met, age 3, would be one in consideration. But after looking and studying all of this, obviously he's not because his blood type is AB neg, meaning there will not be any children prospering from those couples, meaning myself and Faith Element, which is Blue Rival. So if I look at another person, which is obvious, it's Zach. So my chest, my heart, my brain, everything says him on the left side of my body. But is it? So does the birthday calendar, does the star sign, does everything really show and say him? Does the universe really show and say him? Next, we are going to talk about, is it Jeff? So using dream catchers to trap nightmares and release good dreams only, and the black tourmaline crystal to get rid of bad voodoo, which is bad witchcraft that could happen with the mistakes and everything else, which is considered bad witchcraft. So to remove that in the dreams and to also attain infinity love, who would be the infinity love? Obviously, your divine partner will be the only infinity love, which is a heart shape with a number 8 and a black crystal, combined with the infinity satanic star. Obviously, the dream occurred. And that dream, I noticed the guy laying next to me was Jeffrey Elliott, meaning he was obviously just like Zach, but much older, and not much by some few years. So obviously, what does that indicate and what does that show? The reason why people like to sleep the whole time, not whole time, but the reason why people like to sleep is because they are usually literally laying next to their divine partner. What else is there to indicate and show who is a person's real divine, actual, original partner? Since we have nothing to really go by, it obviously signifies that must be some sort of correlations to it being correct, isn't it? As I had seen myself in a shadow some way, and him. Someone tried to push me out of myself while I was sleeping to kiss someone else that was forced to be on top of Jeffrey Ellie, which looked like Care Element and Brian kissing someone that was not myself, because obviously I was skipping the whole time. So obviously this indicates when we are sleeping, we already cycled through what we're going through right now if you don't have dreams. And if you don't have much dreams or a second life, then obviously that weird stuff that happened, the voodoo witchcraft and all this stuff that happened, must have happened because of what? The obvious signs are someone is going into people's eyes, 1. 2, someone is literally dead, walking around in the souls, being in other people's bodies. 3, it must indicate that someone murdered people and graved them originally with each other somewhere in the universes. As it's obvious that many predictors, gods, and high intelligence have made and said, and including stated, that it would be the end of, for example, computers and electricity and or the planet and or even the universe. So the reason why this happens, what are the obvious signs that it happens? So it must indicate something. So as of now, should Sek in Thai, where the dark side is, obviously means a black dress. Actually, it means a dress. But when we look at USA terms, in my maze and where I am, if you are here, obviously it shows at the paraspiral show dead, beaming to the sky. If you look at USA films, shoving random people into the fulfillment zone to acclaim something, like, for example, that's not going to open, is it? Because if you don't put fire on it, it's not going to open, right? You're not going to go say someone else is fire when someone else is really fire in terms of elements. Obviously, when you mismatch things like that and you claim something, for example, shoving dead show black dress into the player spiral, it must mean something. So this obviously is a place where it beams to the top of the universe. So it obviously indicates Crystal Cathedral, the man with all the crystals. That was most likely why it was called that. The man that is obsessed with crystals, Satan. 51 states. Crystal books, Wicca, things like that. Infinity. Strangely, the moment I went there and liked that place was the moment shortly after they changed it to Christ Cathedral. After they had changed it to Christ Cathedral, they show pretty much dead into the prayer spiral. Why is she in black dress in the prayer spiral? This is obviously indicating something wrong is going on. As the coronavirus creeped up shortly after, it's trackable, traceable in history and where I am and where I'm living and my time as well. This obviously indicates there is a serious crime going on. And what are the crimes? So when someone mentions something, obviously people are gonna ignore. Mary's statue shows people 3 wishes, right? Like I have experienced in shadows. For example, the shadowed vampire sex. Obviously, the strange part is it's a black dress. The beginning of my maze was black, white, and blue. Satan's color is black, white, and blue. Infinity, where we are. Shitsak in Thai means a dress. He is always wearing black. So what did you do to Crystal Cathedral? What is it showing to every person? And where is it beaming to? The infinite sky. Time is not a matter. As in outer space, it's obviously infinite. Somewhere, yeah? So where are you upon your sleep? Are you laying dead? Which is an obvious concern that someone has always been accusing, acclaiming, and threatening Satan in this very place. And without knowing, someone went to judge in a church facility that says thou shalt not judge. So who are all the people praying against infinity element? If not church people themselves. So this is an obvious indication that we are perhaps and possibly going to die. Like a bunch of people already succumb to real sex with someone else in their sleep. Which is why it is obvious you do not force people to fuck other people in real. Do you always cycle the same patterns?